SSC and its equivalent examination results have been published. About 87.44% students have passed. Women's position in the society would not be elevated without the empowerment, said the Prime Minister. And on the 10-point demand, the strike of boat workers ended across the country. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Mytv News. I'm Fauza Roshan with you in the newsroom today. Viewers are watching the headlines and I'm going to the details. The results of the secondary school certificate and its equivalent examinations have been published. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina officially announced the results on Monday. She said that the government has continued the education program in the overall situation, including Corona, pointing out that the education rate has decreased instead of increasing. The Prime Minister said that the achievements of the education sector should be maintained. About 87.44% students have passed the SSC and its equivalent examinations of 2022. This rate was 93.58% last year. Around 20 lakh students at the 10 education boards appeared for the year's SSC and equivalent exams, which began on September 15. Students thronged the schools immediately after the results were announced. Excited by the desired results, the students rejoiced. Education Minister Dr. Deepu Moni gave details of the results at a press conference at the International Mother Language Institute in the afternoon. He said Bangladesh has proposed in the field of education in the South Asia. Besides, the Education Minister also said that the expected results were possible because the present government was determined to prevent any question paper leak from happening. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina today said women's position in the society would not be elevated without the empowerment, adding their plights multiply during any conflict and disaster. It's beyond the question that women are the most vulnerable section of society, especially in third world countries. They suffer violence in various forms, malnutrition, illiteracy, and other basic needs. Their plights multiply during any conflict and disaster, she said. The Premier said this at the inaugural ceremony of the two-day International Women Peace and Security WPS Seminar 2022, jointly organized by the Armed Forces Division, Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Bangladesh Police at Army Multipurpose Complex, Dhaka Cantonment. Sheikh Hasina said that since its independence, Bangladesh has been working on promoting women in all spheres of national life. Awami League General Secretary Obadul Qadir has commented that BNP could not organize a movement for Khaleda Zia for 13 minutes in 13 years. He said this in the morning at the District Awami League Conference at Shohid Maidan in Gor Dinajpur. Obadul Qadir said that the time of BCL conference has been brought forward, which is the result of Sheikh Hasina's liberalism, for the kindness for which BNP leader Begum Khaleda Zia is supposed to be in jail. Sheikh Hasina has allowed her to stay at home in an executive order. BNP Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir has commented that the torture of the ruling party will be answered in the movement. He made this comment while consoling the family members after the death of a former MP of Potuakhali 3 constituency, Shahjahan Khan, at Dhanmondi Labate in the afternoon. Mirza Fakhrul said that the people have risen against the torture and the torture of a family and said that this is not a natural death. The BNP General Secretary also claimed that he was beaten and injured on the way to the Divisional Assembly in Borishal. On the 10-point demand, the strike of boat workers has ended for the second day. Due to the strike, shipping across the country was stopped. Passengers on the waterways were in trouble. The naval workers have called for a strike from midnight on Saturday, demanding 10 points, including minimum wage of Taka 20,000 and guaranteed employment and identity cards. Formation of a provided fund. The central leaders of the Naval Labor Union have announced to continue the strike for an indefinite period until the demands are met. About 8 million cubic feet of gas is being added to the national grid transmission line starting today. This gas will be connected to the transmission line from well number 1 of Silas Bianibajar gas station. BAPEX started digging in the abundant well number 1 of Bianibajar last September. After the gas pressure test yesterday, all the technical preparations for gas supply to the national grid were completed at the final stage. From this well, it will be possible to supply 8 million gas per day to the grid line. 7 million cubic feet of gas is being supplied to the national transmission line daily from well number 2 of Bianibajar gas field. Viewers, now international news. At least 14 people were killed in a landslide during a funeral in Cameroon's capital on Sunday, the region's governor said. Rescue operations were underway for others who might have been swept up in the disaster. Nasarai Paul Biya, governor of Cameroon's Central region, told reporters at the scene. The victims had gathered at the top of a hill for memorial service when the ground collapsed, witnesses said. Biya said that the area where the landslide took place in the Damas neighborhood of Yandu was a very dangerous spot, asking people to leave before authorities came in to clear it. Belgian police detained a dozen people and made one arrest on Sunday after Morocco's victory over Belgium in the World Cup match in Qatar triggered riots in Brussels, with a car and some electric scooters set on fire. The riots took place in several places across the Belgian capital, where dozens of soccer fans, some draped in Moroccan flags, clashes without riot police with water cannons and tear gas. Around 7 p.m., calm returned and preventive patrols remain in place in the sectors concerned, police spokesperson Ilse Bende-Kera said. Somali security forces were attempting to flush out armed assailants from a hotel in the Somali capital, a police spokesman said Sunday, after the extremist group in Al-Shabaab claimed responsibility for the attack. There has been no immediate word of any casualties. Al-Shabaab said in a broadcast on its own radio frequency Sunday that said its fighters attacked the hotel Villa Rose, which has a restaurant popular with the government and the security officials. Sources of people were rescued from the hotel, and the security forces have launched an operation to remove the assailants. Police spokesman Sadiq Dozes said state media. Viewers, now news on sports. Switzerland will face Brazil at the Stadium 994 in the Group G match of the World Cup in Qatar today. Slicens beat Serbia in the first match and are at the top of the points table. Brazil will enter the field with the goal of securing the last 16 by defeating the Swiss, who are behind in terms of strength. Selecao will not have Neymar in this match due to an ankle injury in the first match. The match will start at 10 p.m. Bangladesh time. In the other match, Uruguay's opponent in Group H is Portugal. Ronaldo's team wants to secure the ticket to the knockout stage by winning this match. The match will start at 1 p.m. at Lusail Stadium. In another match, South Korea's opponent is Ghana at 7 p.m. Viewers, about to the end and the headlines once again. SSC and its equivalent examination results have been published. About 87.44% students have passed. Women's position in the society would not be elevated without the empowerment, said the Prime Minister. On the 10-point demand, the strike of boat workers ended across the country. At least 14 people were killed in a landslide during a funeral in Cameroon. And Switzerland will face Brazil in the Group G match of the World Cup in Qatar tonight. That's all from our newsroom for now. Thanks for being with us. To join with MyTV News online, visit YouTube/MyTVBD News. And to watch all our programs, visit YouTube/MyTV Bangla, Facebook/MyTV Bangla. Our next bulletin will be telecast in Bangla at 7:30 p.m. Don't forget to join with us. Till then, stay connected. Allah Hafiz.